Oh, great. Alright. I mean, it was cool, but it was a little fast paced. Okay. Much later. I really wanted something a little bit more. Let's try that one. All right. Welcome to Billionaire Baddie Divine Feminine Tarot. I am your psychic bestie, providing you with all of the hottest, okay, divine feminine tea that you will find anywhere. Basically, helping you stay focused and sucker free. All right. So you can always be on top of your business and your bag. If you are new here, definitely hit the subscribe button. Okay. Be part of our psychic family. I would love to have you here. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you know when I go live. And also definitely like this video just to show your love and appreciation, okay, for my psychic works. And best friend, when you're done with that, please meet us over in VIP Patreon. Okay, that's where you'll find my most exclusive psychic readings on breaking news and trending topics that everyone wants the tea on. I have currently, uploaded some VIP readings, a world predictions two-part series, 20 prophecies coming to you in 2025. You definitely don't want to miss that. We have celebrity VIP, of course, love readings, world predictions, um, true crime. There's just so much to name. You definitely want to be in the all access tier. Okay, because that gives you access to all of my readings on all my YouTube channels, in addition to everything I release exclusively in VIP. Also, being a member gives you access to my VIP psychic prediction receipts. All right, so I'm a psychic medium. I make psychic predictions. When they come to pass, I post the receipts in VIP. All right, so we just ain't over here talking. So you can get your love readings tea and get your world predictions tea all in one place. All right, and VIP. Look on the community board, okay, for updates and all of that. That being said, hey, Patty. All right, let's get the energy around you. We want to talk about what they want to tell you, okay, or what they're afraid to tell you right now, or whatever I had said in the thumbnail. All right, here, what they're afraid to tell you, okay, right now. We're going to get an oracle energy. Okay, could be past, present, future tense, however that resonates for you. Let's get the first scenario. What they're afraid to tell you right now. This one may have a hard time expressing their feelings, expressing their emotions. They could have an avoidant personality, 333. All right. We both know I'm not the one for you. Okay. We both know I'm not the one for you. They could have felt like they were doing you a favor, all right, by going ahead and exiting stage left. Okay. They could be sabotaging also. Okay. Here. Sometimes people don't feel like they're worthy of a good thing. They may felt like, they may have felt like you were too good for them. And I've heard this thing of when they do believe them. All right, believe a man or whatever, a person when they say, you know, uh, you're too good for me or blah blah blah. Let me do the timestamp. I think that was at 3. Okay, scenario number 1 was at 3. Okay, here. So that could be it also. Yeah, we have 8 of Wands. Okay, which is their actions and energy towards you. Here, why do they say this? Clarify. We both know I'm not the one. Yeah, it's like blame it on me. Yeah. Say it's my fault. Say I'm a liar, a cheater, whatever that you want. Just say, okay, that's that Chris and Michelle. Just say that it's over. Okay. Something like that, I feel like they're taking the easy way out. It's kind of giving scapegoat. If they tell you what you want to hear, they say it's on, and then they don't have to explain their fucked up actions or behaviors. All right. We have 2 of swords with this hangman energy. I feel like I feel like they're saying this because you can read this person like a book. All right. Literally. All right. They weren't able to pull anything past you. You could read their behavior, you could read their disposition. And I feel like that's what they didn't like, because maybe they are used to getting over on women or their partners or whatever. We both know I'm not the one for you. It's not that you're not the one for them, it's that you can read them. Okay. And you don't like that. All right. Here, and maybe even they could have worked hard to change your perspective, maybe even to the point of gaslighting you. All right. Here, we have four of wands and six of wands, tower, 10 of wands. They could have been the type to make a whole bunch of promises. They were full of shit. Okay, promising you the world, trying to sell you a dream. This could have been a fire sign. Okay, here, we gonna get married, we gonna have this, we gonna have that, baby. They told us about four other bitches. Okay, about four other bitches. All right. Here, this somebody that got their hands full. Okay, with this tower and this six of wands, maybe even triangulating other women to compete for them, or making them, feel like they need to compete. Here they are attending to three other women while you got up and you just like, you know what, I'm just going ahead and take myself out of the equation. Okay, here. And so then when it's time to have a talk, they're like, well, I ain't the one for you anyway, or you weren't feeling me anywhere. No, I just know you're full of shit. And you know that I could read you. And you know that I wasn't the only one. You were selling this story, selling this dream about happily ever after. We gonna have a house, this and this and this and that. And you have a reputation, okay? They may have also, like, it's like them things if you ask them, about their ex. Well, how did you break up with your ex? And they blame it on the woman and all that. That it's like you've seen that before. So again, I feel like it's not necessarily, they're definitely not for you, but I feel like it's like a mind fuckery. All right, an excuse for them to back out without confirming your suspicions, okay, or validating your suspicions that they were full of shit in the first place. And they was just trying to add you to a harem, okay, of other bitches, other women. Could have literally had, separate homes, or at least, maybe they had a house, maybe they got a house with somebody else, and maybe they, got, a house for their baby mama, and then they go visit the other woman's house. You know what I mean? Like, whole, okay, okay. And I do feel like this person is somebody whose energy they go out of their way to convince women, to give up everything, to sit down, and well, it's just got to be me. Even if we're dating, you just got to be dating me, even though they're not. Okay, they want to make sure you're exclusive. This person likes to shelve women. Okay, snatch them up and then put them on the shelf. Here, and you were the first one who caught on. All right, before they can actively do it. All right. Here, and so it was one of them tower moments, okay, where you're just like, yeah, thanks, but no thanks. All right. Here with this 10 of wands. So this definitely could have had a messy ending. All right. And again, after the fact, what they're afraid to tell you is that you were right. You were right. You read them like a book. You called it accurately. All right, here. And they were full of shit, and they know it, and you knew it. And so that's what they're afraid to tell you. You were right all along. Okay, next scenario. On the 9:30. What they're afraid to tell you. Okay. What they're afraid to tell you. Second scenario. What they're afraid to tell you right now. Second scenario. Of course, if you need a personal reading, you can reach out to me directly through email. You can also book through VIP if you need monthly counseling, psychic services. VIP, all access VIP is included when you book for monthly psychic counseling services, and it all comes at a discount. All right, or you can just book directly through email. All right. You and I were too young. Okay. This may have been that you were too young, or it could have been just too damn immature. Okay. Here, you could have been asking for a commitment, a relationship, and maybe that, well, we're too young. They might have just meant they were too young. I feel like you gave them an ultimatum, that you wanted to take things seriously, that, you weren't just here to be a pass around or a pastime. All right. And, it's like, well, we're too young to be that serious, or we're too young to be married and all of that. Or they could be using this as an excuse to back out of the relationship if you guys did get married young or something, and it's been like a year or two or three. They probably don't want to be around no more. So they can be like, listen, we were too young in the first place. I told you that. You shouldn't be surprised that it's not working out. Again, a lot of this energy is giving deflection here. Okay, a kind of a way of you make of them making it feel like it was your fault. Yep, King of Cups. Here they are. All right. Here they may, and I feel like they're emotionally manipulative. Okay, too young to have a family, or too young when you had this family. Yeah, here it is, Ten of Pentacles and this Five of Cups. We were too young. Okay, you were too young. Knight of Cups to be having a kid. All of this Ten of Cups here. That's what this is. And so now they want to move on. Okay. Crazy part is I feel like they sought you out because you were young. Okay. Here. All right. They got you while you were young. Okay. This could have even been a ploy to kind of tie you down. Because some men do that. They will get a woman pregnant so they can always keep an eye or always have a way to kind of pull the strings and control her. And then after she gets pregnant, has the baby, he sticks around for 6 months, maybe a year if it's good. And then he'd be like, okay, we were too young. You're, too young to be this serious, getting in like all of that. It was just to tie you down. Okay. Knight of Cups here with this Ten of Cups and the wheel. Okay. Here, now he gonna move over. Yeah, now he moving forward, looking for the next bitch to run. Same thing on. Goodbye. He already got somebody lined up in the background. You look at this picture, already making his move to go play in somebody else's face. So if any of this sounds familiar, um this will be your clarification, your verification. All right, that this is something that this person does. Okay, here they could read women or feel like they read women like a book here. All right, um, emotionally unavailable. Four of Cups. Okay, Four of Wands. Again, there's this energy of somebody that just promises women the world, and then as soon as he realizes that he has them or he's convinced them, then he's out. Then he's ghost. Now he's looking for basically another dummy. But the crazy part about this person is I feel like they just be impregnating women and then moving on. Okay, they like to drop their damn litter of kids, litter of babies everywhere. But they're real charming with the words, real convincing, damn near to brainwashing. All right, and even when they break up, it as fucked up as their behavior is, you'll find yourself like, yeah, you're right. We were too young to have a, relationship. Yeah, yeah, but what about the baby? Yeah, we probably shouldn't have had the baby either, with you being so young and all, but now the baby's here, or this is your first baby. Yeah, we probably should have waited. I probably should have been the bigger one to tell you that you were young and this was your first child. And, maybe you should wait until you've accomplished some things. But, now the baby's here. Okay. And even though the baby's here, I'm never going to abandon you or anything like that, but we can see that this really isn't, working out the way things planned. And, again, because you were so young and we just he full of shit. All right. Just moving on to the next one. All right. That he has lined up to run this game on. All right. Here. All right. Yeah, the devil. Five of Wands. All right. Probably got one or two, and then you find out, 8 months later, he got somebody else pregnant. They're about to have a baby, and it's the same scenario. All right. And he did it on purpose with this devil, Five of Wands, and this Two of Cups. Now, he's got both of you fighting over who he gonna be a husband, because now the triangulation is about, both of you losing sleep, or however many holes he got, y'all both losing sleep over who's going to be able to reel him back in and make it work, and who's going to be able to get him to, propose and choose one over the other. He's juggling both of you. For somebody though, you just need to let it be, because I feel like, you know, past, present, or future, there's something about this energy. Like, I feel like this person is bad for your mental health. The mental health affects the physical, all of that. All right. So what they were afraid to tell you is that they was playing games from the beginning. Okay. Th- They plotted on you from the beginning. This is who they are. This is their MO. This is what they do. Okay. Here, and what they're afraid to tell you is they want you to fight this other bitch to try and jump through hoops. So, he could end up with you or marry you and all. It's never gonna happen. Okay. He just like to stress bitches out with his nine of swords here. That's all he does. He likes to stress bitches out, and then he likes to see women work and compete to win his favor. And meanwhile, you could be like, oh well, she's doing this and she's doing that, and he's singing the same song, playing a violin. Meanwhile, three of wands, he on for the third bitch. Okay. Here, while you both are sitting back fighting and juggling over who gonna be the last girl standing, being sick. Right here, Eight of Swords. And Holy Spirit is saying this is a karmic relationship. This is not nobody you want to be married to. All right. But because he has introduced, competition into it, he knows that, that he can get entertained and get his ego fed forever. Okay. Because it's about winning. He has both of you pinned against each other, possibly with children and all of that. And, he can get entertained off of both of you competing while he's on, for the third one. And the third one, he just might marry the star. Okay. Here, but maybe he meets this star and he meets his match, because this person, don't really study his ass. I ain't really studying his ass like y'all are. Okay. So, um, what he's afraid to tell you, he full of shit. Okay. All right. Here, third and final scenario. All right. So if you were in that situation and he going back and forth and you going back and forth, that was all by this is all by design. Okay. He just entertained. Okay. You're just his entertainment. He has no real intention of settling down. And even if he does, it's not gonna keep him stuck. He's still gonna be cheating and looking for somebody else. Okay, because this is about feeding his ego. All right. Third scenario, I hide behind, okay, material things. I hide behind material things. And maybe you're not impressed, okay? This could be somebody that's used to people being impressed with their job, their status, their money, their wealth, their position, their title, okay? Here, this could consume them to where they damn near don't even have their own personality. Their personality is their degree. Okay, they're standing in society, who they are to other people. What they're afraid to tell you, yeah, Six of Swords. Okay, this is why they never let you get close to them. All right. This is why they ran. This is why they sabotaged, because they're superficial and you needed depth and they couldn't give that to you. Okay. They couldn't give that to you. They were used to, dealing with airhead bitches, you know, bitches that care about what they have. They're able to hide behind their wealth. And so they dealt with people that were interested in their wealth. And that's it. They didn't have to give emotionally or do anything or connect until you came along. And that was, you know that was the change. Okay, here. All right. It didn't have to get that deep with other people. They didn't have to work, or it was never that deep. But you, okay, you are different. All right, here. And because I feel like, and you're dealing with them, maybe you were always probing or always asking them qualifying questions. It made them feel, uncomfortable. All right. You took them out of the energy that they're used to. All right. Here, all right, with the Six of Swords in reverse. clarify the Six of Swords in reverse? And again, I feel like it's the fact that you weren't impressed. All right. Most people see somebody with wealth and they're just like, yeah, he's going to buy me this and, the hero and all of that. And, it was the fact that you weren't impressed by that. Even if it would have, gave you a lifestyle glow up and all of that, it may have been the fact that you weren't impressed, that it was just like, well, damn. Okay. Um, Ace of Swords, that's the truth. All right. And you were able to see the truth, challenge them to speak the truth. All right. They're used to being superficial. They probably are a pathological liar, used to lying, used to hiding behind masks. And there's something about your energy that demanded the truth. And that's just not something, they're like, shit. Okay. They have safety in being false or wearing a false mask or hiding behind their wealth, job, or whatever, but you required substance, and that's just not, that scared them. It triggered them. Okay. Because usually that's just not required. Maybe they hang around a bunch of fake, motherfuckers or whatever. All right. Five of Swords. And I feel like I could be dealing with the air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And I feel like you call them out regularly. Like, you're full of shit. Why are you lying? Why are you this? Why are you that? You know what I mean? And as I say that, I feel like this, you know what I mean? I feel like you were this to their nervous system because you don't play that shit. You don't play that fake shit. You don't play that false shit. I don't give a fuck about your money, your roles, I don't give a fuck about none of that. Why you lie to me? Why you lying? Why you do, you know what I mean? And I feel this energy where they're just like, oh my God, because they're used to dealing with airhead bitches that don't require shit. But a Birkin bag, you could give a fuck about a Birkin bag. I want to know why you said that, why you did that, why you made me feel like that, why you're not being accountable, why are you treating me like, you know what I mean? They're like, fuck. All right. They're not used to anybody challenging them like that. King of Pentacles with this Ace of Wands. You were a new thing. It was your strength and your confidence. Okay. And they were intimidated by it. All right. Here. Plus, you work, hard working woman. You got your own. Okay. A lot of these things they respected and even loved about you. Okay. This Emperor energy with this Six of Swords. Okay. But it's just like, damn. Okay. I feel like you were just a lot. I feel like you're attracted to a lot of men too. All right. A lot of these types, okay, that do hide behind it, and you might not have, that much, but you do your work, you love what you do, and that makes you attractive, just being able to stand on and know that you're immovable regardless of what somebody has, what they're bringing to the table. I won't be moved, okay? I want to know about X, Y, and Z. Some of them like your feisty nature here, but I feel like if anything, a lot of this energy could be about, taming you. And yeah, this person met their match. Okay. Intelligence, you're intelligent, the way you speak. Two of Cups. Okay. Again, you challenge them. And I do feel like they're in love with you. I feel like they have feelings for you and all of that. But it's just like, I just feel like you're a jolt to their nervous system. They don't know how to, they can't handle you. Okay. Or manhandle you or nothing, because you're real quick, real smart, you real on your feet. You don't give a fuck about nothing or what they talking about or any, you know what I mean? So it's like they don't quite know what to do with you. All right. And so they might have sabotaged the relationship and walked away with this Five of Cups. They might have rejected you. So if any of this sounds familiar, this is why, okay? Because you were different from all the rest. You were able to see right through them and you weren't willing to settle. All right. A lot of women, for a check, that baby, do what you want to do. Tell me lies. Tell me sweet little lies. Okay. Just go ahead, give me my allowance, give me my little black card or whatever. I don't see you over there crashing out on drugs, about to kill yourself, even though you got young kids and a baby to worry about. I don't care. Just the deposit hit. All right. That's what they're used to. And being able to bullshit and do all of that. Basically dealing with people that don't give a fuck about them, just their wallet. And you were different. You challenged them. And it just wasn't nothing they could do. Okay. Here. So they self-sabotaged. Okay. And maybe even, did a bunch of things to hurt you on purpose, even though they knew that they could have been very, very happy with you, but they were just so damaged and so full of old trauma and all of that, and nobody that really, challenged them or gave a fuck about what makes them tick and all of that. You know, that's what it was. Okay, I do feel like they saw a future with you. They were very, very attracted to you. They felt like you had this, healing, energy. Maybe you guys could even work together and build an amazing business or partnership. They saw a lot with you, but again, they weren't ready for that type of transparency, is what I just heard, or that type of transparency. They did the easiest thing, was to be with and entertain a bunch of women that don't give a fuck about them. All right.